Okay. One of the common ways to know if a website is secured or if SSL is running on that website is that when you look at your, please, where is the marker? When you look at your browser, once you open your browser, you see that search bar. The place you enter the URL. Please, where is the mic? Where is the marker? So when you open your, once you launch your web browser, you're going to see a bar where you enter the place you normally type that something. Are you following? The place you normally type that. There's something I wanted to show us on the board. Please, who took the marker here? This is the permanent marker. Okay, there's nothing I can do. Okay, please look up here. But I wanted to illustrate something on the board. When you look at this place now, even if I'm viewing, I can only view I can't view here. When you look at this place, you find out that there is something here called a search bar, right? Now, let me visit a website. It's like the network is a bit slow or something. Now watch. This site now that is opening is secured. It has SSL on it running. Are you following? Because when you look at this place, you will see an icon. This icon here, if you are closer to this screen, you will see something that says connection is what? Connection is secured. Some browser will give you something like a key here. Are you following? So typically, automatically, it simply means that the site is secured. Are you following? It means the site is secured. That is the first thing. Then, the next thing there now is that if it's not secured, we did this website and the owner doesn't want us to install this thing for him. So it's loading up. Let me show us something too. So this one now is typically secured. This is secured. So whatever thing in here. Okay? Good. Now look at this site. Look at this place. So look. Are you seeing something there? Now, the reason why this thing did not block this connection is because I have entered this site before now. I have visited this site before now. Okay? So that's why the browser did not try blocking me off, because I visited it before now. So if I should use a different browser now to visit it, okay, let me check this browser. Do you see anything? Now look here, look up here. Look up here. Now always pay attention to details. Pay attention to detail. Whatever thing you are seeing has a meaning. Okay? So this error now is pointing to, is a network related error. Okay? It's a network related error and is an error. ERR is an error which has to do with CA invalid, which is certificate authority, is invalid. And here is the subject, here is the issuer. And the expiring date, the current date, and some other informations. Now this is how certificate looks like. SSA certificate, this is how it looks like. Are you following? This is how it looks like. Now because we want to continue with the site, you have to click on advance. After seeing all those details, you just click on advance. But already it has warned you. Okay? Click on advance and click on what? Continue to this site. And it's still telling you that the thing is on. And if you check here, it will show you not secured here. So that's the first thing to know if a website is secured or not. Okay? That's the first thing to know if a website is secured or not secured. I think I've answered that question. Any other question? It's not the same thing. Now, that's a will I call it an advanced analysis. That's an advanced analysis. We will also have to touch some places that I think we have forensic related stuff in this hour during our course outline. You get, we have forensic related stuff. So it will be an extensive one. And it's also a one that you do with all diligence and all carefulness. Because once you do your analysis and submit, whatever thing you submit, if they should go to court with it, it will serve as evidence. There's a name, there's what they call it, a legal term. Apart from evidence, Is it S-bit? Yes, S-bit. They will mark it as an S-bit. Right? So they will mark it as an S-bit. So that's why it calls for good focus and good carefulness during your analysis. Because if you should do analysis, and it happens to be that the site you are calling a scam or you are referring to be a phishing website is a legit or a genuine website. Now you sabi. Are you getting me now? So it calls for, yes, carefulness. Now you see that the cybersecurity as a profession is a very careful profession. Everything in cybersecurity requires carefulness and focus. There is nothing you will just do. Let me just do it. Choreography. No. You need to be careful. Okay, go ahead. Now, any site that has HTTP without S will flag. Are you following? Now, any site that doesn't have HTTP will definitely, certainly flag. It will show you not secured. So when you continue or when you decide to click on continue, you're on your own. If you put S now, those who joined the previous class, there is this server I projected. And on that server, there is a place that says redirect HTTP to HTTPS. We saw it there, you've forgotten. There is a place that says redirect HTTP to HTTPS. What that thing does is this. If you secure a site, a website now, and there is no automatic redirection. There is no automatic redirection in the sense that if somebody, my name is Chibike Onyeji, somebody come and type my website, chibikeonyeji.com.ng, without putting that HTTP column // what the thing does is that the way this thing works, or the way this is light. So you can actually write it in a way that it should respond to any request automatically using HTTPS. So any other question? Any other question? So Tina is not in the class today, right? You want to ask a question? Yes, she wanted. She said she has the question to ask. And I said, if you are able to make it down to this place today, it would have been the best, because today we will have to clarify on some things that we did last week that some of us did not do this thing. Okay, we are still in week 2. This is week 3. Okay? But I just want to do a little this thing for those who has question on it. And there is a place I wanted us to look at. This public key what? Infrastructure. PKI. So the PKI is a what? And is a set of rules, policies, hardware, software, and what? Procedures needed to create, manage, distribute, use, store, and what? And revoke. And what? Manage public key encryption. Before we continue, if you remember what we did when I was talking about SSL, who remember? And we said that SSL is a certificate. You remember, right? Good. Now, this is like a continuation now. Okay? But what this thing is trying to say is, whatever thing you have or whatever thing you are doing, there is always a signature attached to it. And that signature is called public key. For instance, if you want to receive cryptocurrency from someone, are you getting me? It says, send me your wallet address, and you send your wallet address. The person can use your wallet address to watch your wallet. The person can use your wallet address to report a transaction. The person can use your wallet address to find out how much you have received so far using that same wallet address. The money you've received, the date, the denomination. For instance, if you have a, let's say, Bitcoin wallet address, and you go to Bitcoin scanner and paste the wallet address, it will bring out the history of that wallet address. The person can use that wallet address to watch. That is what we call watching an address or watching a wallet. Watching a wallet, you can watch a wallet for security reasons. Okay? You can watch a wallet. For instance, maybe there is a work you guys are doing or something that requires using a cryptocurrency-based wallet. And the wallet is only accessed by one person. So everyone can collect the wallet destination address and be watching. Okay? For instance, money might hit the wallet, and someone says, we no see money. Money did not come. No need to para. Just go and scan the wallet. You see how much that came in, the date, the time. Okay? And even the source that sent it. Are you following? So that is the work of public key. That is the work of public key. And it can be a role. It can be policies. When we are talking about policies has to do with the measures that you set. Okay? It can be seen or done on the hardware or softwares. Like these systems you are seeing, all of them has their own public keys. All the systems you are seeing here, they possess different public keys. And another thing is that public key cannot be two. public keys cannot be what? Only one. Only one. Now, components of public keys, the way they are. Now, it is either they are CAs, which is Certificate Authority, ROA, which is Registration Authority, Certificate what? Repository. Or what? Revocation list. Now, all these things has what they are used for. Now, when we talk about SSL, and when buying, when you are purchasing, from the website I showed us that day, you can even Google it, types of SSL. You see them there. We have even the one called, I think, a domain validation, DV, domain validation, and I think self-assigned or something too is part. But all these things are pointing to one thing, and one thing they are pointing to is security. It's just like when you want to go to gates, easy gate. You can follow any road. The only place you want to arrive is where? Gate. You want to get to gate. Okay? So that's how this thing works. Okay, let's look at the diagram we have here so that we see the basic something. Now look. This diagram is able to get all, or not just most, all of the components of what we are talking about. Is able to get this thing, the components of what we are talking about, and how this thing work. This thing I was explaining now, I had wanted to draw a diagram on the board and show us how this thing I was explaining that time, how they work, the response and the request of HTTP and HTTPS, and the redirection, okay? So this is the diagram that is explaining the components of PKI and their relationship, how they relate. I told us that our system has its own, right? Good. So this is the relations here. Now the first one we have there is what? Certificate signing request. Now this is the request. If you want to purchase SSL, you make this request. There is a digit that will be given to you called CSR. The signing request. It will be given to you. And this signing request submitted to what? And the certificate authority looks into it. They looks into it to ascertain if this certificate is from us or not. Are you following now? This thing I'm showing now happens within seconds on your system. Just as you are entering a website, it has already happened without your notice. Are you following? Now, the issues, now it looks at the certificate. This is a certificate, okay? And then to the client. Are you following? So a request was made. And this request was submitted and it was issued back to the client. Do you understand how the thing works? Good. Let's now come over to this place. Now, this is like will I call it a circuit breaker? Like a junction box. Are you following? This is a junction box. A control box, something of that nature. No, let's use control box for this one. And then, what will you? Okay, junction box. Okay, for this one, right? Good. This one is control box. This one is junction box now. Abi? Good. So what happens here now is that both the private key and the public key resides here. Both of them has a communication here. And this communication is when these private keys are being encrypted. Mark that word, encrypted. I'm going back to encryption now. When they are being encrypted, when your keys are being encrypted or hashed, depending on the mechanism that is being used. Are you following? Now, after the encryption or the hashing stage, it generates a what? A public key. And that public key is what the user or the client would get. You're not getting me. Why are you not doing face as if I'm explaining rocket science? Look up. What I'm trying to point out here is this. This is our key pairs. And when we talk about pairs, is when something is two, right? Good. And in this junction, or at this junction, this is where the both keys meet together. And for us to actually, as clients, get a response, we have to obtain the what? The public key. That is what you obtain. No? The green one is what you obtain, which is the public key. That is the reason why I had to bring out the public key out there. And for you to obtain anything from this end or from this server, it can be a server. That's why I did that in that way. It can be a server. Okay? For you to obtain anything from there, it has to come from the private. Yes. So that is why you secure your private key with all diligence. Okay? So your public key can be public just like the name goes. Anyone can see your public key. But everyone shouldn't have access to your words, your private key. If not, you go there one day, your money don't go. Go there one day, one thing don't happen. Are you following? So, in other words, your private key can be shared. It can be shared. Sorry, your public key can be shared while your private key is being stored. So please take notes. Take notes. So when we talk about what we call APIs, I don't know, someone has heard of API here, yes or no? API now. Yes, ask your question. Come again, please. Please, sir, stand up, so that I will see. Yes, sir. Mm-hmm. 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 Yes, now anybody who is in possess of anyone who is in possess of your private key automatically has full access. Are you following? Once I have access to your public key, I have access to anything. Anything. Just like your Wi-Fi. Are you getting? Okay, for an instance now, you called Facebook. Let me explain something now using this public key and private key. For an instance, you have a Facebook account. The private side is that your private, that you can be able to log in. That's your private side. And the public side is when someone searches and sees you. Are you getting? That person seeing you from this other end cannot be able to delete your post. You made a post, the person can be able to delete your post. Can the person see you? Yes. The person can see you, the person can interact with you. But there are some restricted, mark that word. There are some restricted roles. That's why we use roles and we use policies during the definition part. We use roles and we use what? Policies. Are you getting? So, there are some restricted roles and policies that has already been put in place. So someone who is from the other side can only send you a message, delete the message he or she sent to you. The one you sent to the person there, the person can delete it. But if the person deletes your message, the person hasn't deleted the message from your own end. I don't know if you're getting how these things work. So, you can be able to delete the one you have the right to delete, which is that your own. The post that comes from you is the one you'll be able to delete, and it will be deleted for everyone. But you cannot delete everyone's message. You can only delete everyone's message from your device, from your own account. Are you getting? That's why it can be either hardware or software too. So it can only be on your own side or end. It cannot affect this other person. Are you getting? So that is why sometimes if you go and delete your message, you send someone messages and you are deleting the messages. Sometimes there are this something that they now do that if it's WhatsApp, the person will still be able to read your message even after you've deleted it. Yeah, it's not only GB. Even some Android phones now does it. The thing stores, is it notification something? It stores in your phone. Are you getting? So things like this now, you are deleting. You've deleted your own, right? The one I wrote to you, have you deleted it? No. You cannot delete it. If you want to delete my message to you, you can delete it from your end. That is the hardware part. Your end. That's where your role stopped. You can't delete mine. So even if I say that I sent you the information on around 9 p.m. and you said it's a lie, see my chat, it's not true, I will say it's okay, let me go and bring my own. Are you getting something now? So I'll bring my own and show them, this is it. So invariably you did what? You deleted the message from your end. So that's just a similar flow of what we have there. You see that private, you see I'm emphasizing on the private key. Is number one, protected and is stored somewhere. Hello? Private keys are always stored where? Somewhere. They are always stored somewhere. They are always stored somewhere. Okay? So that is it. And how does public key infrastructure contribute to online security in our daily lives? Discussion. Just one or two opinions, then move ahead. Okay, we also have a homework there. The one I gave, how many persons did? How many homeworks have I given? One. Authentication, good. Research and compare at what? List 3 different password words, managers. Which one would you recommend and why? This is another homework. This homework I should be able to to check the homework now, but I don't know what is wrong with us sometimes. The reason why we drop these course materials is you go ahead of me. Even you go ahead of the class itself. You go ahead. You read through before the classes So that something like this now, you'll be able to do your own and even be waiting. Write a short essay, 500 words, on the importance of encryption in modern what? Digital what? Communication. Don't use ChatGPT for me. Oh. Install and configure HTTPS on a local web server using a self-signed certificate. You can leave that three. That three, we did it that day. That three is the one we did. That is it on Saturday, right? Saturday that we installed SSL. So these two, please do this assignment so that by our next class, you submit to me. So let's look at what we have now. Okay, I should wait. Yes, now, this is week 2. Yes, this is week 2. It's now that I want to open week 3. You can write and forward, not to group chat. You can forward to me personal. Or should we forward to group chat? Don't go and copy somebody. Oh. The questions are there. Yes. The questions are there. Or should I be copying the question out and be pasting on the group? So, the questions are there. What's it? Committee of friends. Touch him. What's it? The question, yes, all the questions are there. Questions are there. So I'm going over to week 3. Any question now? No question, right? Which one? Okay. Okay. Who else? Code for. Did you install the app from Play Store? If you install the app on Play Store, is a well explained this thing. The next thing you need to do there is to authenticate the email you want to use. Are you getting? Yes, you authenticate the email you want to use. Once you authenticate the email, you know what I mean by authentication. They can send you a code, they can call you on phone, you get. So, once you authenticate the email you want to use, you have it. So that's it. So I believe greater number of us did the assignment. So that's it. So I handed you your name. Any other question before we kick off the week 3? Any other question? Okay. On our week 3, we have on our week 3, we have what we call computer what? Computer security architecture. And in that, we say we're going to be looking at build secure computing what? Infrastructures. And the first one there says what? Threats and what? So we want to look at vulnerabilities and then the threats that embodies computing infrastructure. Okay, understanding what? Potential threats and what? Let's read together so that all of us will. Okay, let's go now. Understanding and this. We need to understand these things for you to know what you are doing. One of the things that makes one a professional is that the person understood what that does, the procedure. People. I'll paste the notes in the group as usual. That one is certain. But any questions now? Okay, please. We are live, please. Okay. So we have what we call common threads. Now, if you are plugging your phones on this system, be careful. Okay? Think there are some common threads on some of the systems, so be careful. Yes. There are some systems over there that has been affected. So be careful. So we have the first one here is what? And under that we have what? After that we have fishing and what? And after that we have what? Man in the middle, right? And what? Now, all these things we are mentioning, all these long things we are mentioning, all of them are pointing to victimizing an individual. Are you following? all these things you are seeing are all means, avenues, and opportunities that attackers use to finish up their attacks. The attack can come as a virus or as a worm, as a Trojan, or as what? Now, let me explain a little, starting from this. Now, what happens here is that this ransom, just like the name goes, okay? Just like the name goes, the name says what? Ransom. So, in a layman's understanding, can anyone be able to just like point a little thing about this particular something? More especially this ransomware. Can anybody explain a little about it? To come up. Can anyone? Please, this should be an interactive class. Oh, class, Asem Monogawa. It's an interactive section, please. Mm-hmm. Any other person? You heard what he said? When you are being attacked, or when your system is under, or your server is under an attack, and the attacker is asking for some funds for you to pay, for them to be able to allow you use your this thing. Any other person with any other verse this thing? When what? No. That is not it. That one is under social engineering. Okay? When people are able to hack your WhatsApp and they are using your WhatsApp account to demand money from people, telling them maybe so person is in hospital, waiting, or there is a business now that you want to introduce to them now. Okay? That is under social engineering. But we are still under this ransomware. So, no, that one didn't fall under ransomware. So the reason I want us to understand this thing is because in our mind is virus. When we hear virus, we generalize it without knowing that there are different. Are you getting? There are different. You okay? Ask them before him. Ask. No, I'm sorry. Explain. Go ahead. Is it what? Okay. 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 It's under fishing. Yes. Okay. Please stop googling that thing we are explaining now. Uh-huh. Okay.